Hey guys, Gary the Gremlin here, but I can't deal with that now. You know all that. Today we're doing another of your favorite series. Everyone seems to really love when I do one of these rankings, so we're going to go ahead and do it again. I can't exactly rank the Hammond collection again because I don't have more of them, but we could go ahead and rank Beasts of the Mesozoic, right? People love that. My favorite Beast of the Mesozoic series has got to be the Ceratopsians. I've talked about them a ton. Oh, yeah, new setup, who dis? I've had this green screen for like a year now, and I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna film this video. I should just use it. So here it is. The shadows are probably gonna throw it off, so that's the last you're gonna see my arms up for the rest of the video. In the past, ranking the Hammond collection, I had a lot of different criteria I was considering for where I put a figure on the list. How their paint quality was, how the design was, how they could articulate, how they just felt in hand, you know? But I don't own most of these figures. I own like 5 of them. So it's just going to be pretty much ranking them off design. First up is Monoclonius. I'm just putting him there for a second. Don't get freaked out. It's an interesting figure because, of course, Monoclonius doesn't exist, but I like it as a reference to the original Dino Riders line, and it works fine as a baby Centrosaurus. Though I think the color scheme, since it's based on an 80s toy, is a little just basic and not, there's not that much paint depth to it. It's just kind of flat colors. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it in C. We'll see if it changes, but just to start it off, we're going to keep it there. Next up, starting with an absolute belter for second place. We all know this. Juvenile Triceratops has got to go into second place. I've got him here. I don't know what I'm doing. Get the whole thing in. Almost knocked over my Giganotosaurus over there. Here he is. Or she, or they, or them. This is a beautiful figure. I really love it. I'm not going to try to let that just completely command the whole thing. It would be very easy to specifically put all the figures I actually have in S tier, because those are the ones that I have a lot of experience with. But this figure was really what I was most excited for out of the whole line, and for good reason. It's got an amazing color scheme, and it poses great, and it looks fantastic. I've got a big thing for just like black and white contrast. It's just a classic good look, you know? And the cream and the black and the little splashes of kind of like a grayish blue on its back. Mwah! Piece de resistance, chef's kiss. Keeping it in S tier, because that's where it deserves to go. On a similar note, I think I'm ready to just put Styracosaurus in S tier as well. I'm not sure why it is. I could be wrong, but was this the logo for Creative Beast Studios for a moment? It seems to me the most iconic out of all the Beasts of the Mesozoic skins, the color designs, is the Styracosaurus. I feel like that's their most defining thing. I know it's based on a lizard. Is it a tegu? No, absolutely not. It looks really great. Really striking and dynamic, and there's so much going on with it. And it's a figure I really wish I had. Next up is the Chasmosaurus. This is a figure that I like. I really love the species Chasmosaurus. But I don't really love this color scheme. I think it's actually going to go D tier. One fault that the Beasts of the Mesozoic color schemes sometimes have is I think sometimes they can just be a bit too bright and too flashy. And in the past, I've described it as too amphibian looking, which is really my problem with it. Sometimes, like on this guy, the lime green with the bright white and the dark black, it creates such a contrast that, we don't really see that on large animals today. Sure, there are zebras, and that might be like the one exception, but to have that bright and extreme of a color scheme that, I would associate something that bright green with being like a poisonous like dart frog or salamander or something, and having it on an animal that would be like 25 feet long feels a little bit just like stretching what I'll believe. Chasmosaurus just kind of takes the brunt of that, because I think it was the first Beast of the Mesozoic color scheme I ever saw that I was like, oh, that doesn't work for me. So even if there might be worse ones than that, he's kind of the martyr for it. Sucks to be him, I guess. I would really love to get that figure and then repaint it to look like the Lost World Chasmosaurus toy, because that is a great looking toy with a great color scheme, and I would love to see this figure with its, I'm sure, amazing level of detail and posability, just with a more muted color scheme. Next up is the Diabloceratops, which I think is going to go in C. It has a lot, for me, of the similar problems where some of the colors are just a little too bright, almost like glow-in-the-dark looking. We'll get to glow-in-the-dark. It's a lot tamer, and I really love Diabloceratops. It's a great species. I love the horns on its head because it's so unique the way they all go. I think we're going to just stay with Diabloceratops in C because that feels good. That feels solid. Mesozoic I think it's a solid... I'm going to put it in B tier for now, and that is the one that I feel like might move the most, because I would like to put it higher. I like that it's the Jurassic Park car. I know it's based off a reptile, this specific color scheme, but it just looks like the Jurassic Park Ford Explorers. It's got the dark green that fades to yellow, and there's red stripes with little white lines. It's the Jurassic Park car. I like it. It feels like a cute Easter egg, like little nod to that. And that's one of the few figures I really wish I had. There's a couple of them. This video is going to be painful because it's just going to be figures I need to track down now. It's really making me go over Beasts of the Mesozoic and realize everything I don't have. Next up is the Medusaceratops, which, for really no reason than it just being a little bit boring, is going to go in D tier. None of these figures are bad. I do not think we're going to get anything in F tier because this line's good. This line's quality. But Medusaceratops is definitely one of my least favorites. If we were, if I had unlimited money, I don't think I would end up buying Medusaceratops still, Something about the shape of the crest at the top of the head just doesn't work for me. Something about it looks weird, the horns, and that's not the fault of anybody making this figure. That is just what Medusaceratops look like as far as we know. But also the color scheme of it is just a little too bright, but also not distinct enough. Usually a lot of these, even on some of the other ones that I don't like as much, like the Chasmosaurus, fellow D tier occupant, there's some very intentional and clear patterning and striping that looks great. Medusaceratops has just kind of got vague stripes that kind of fade into each other. Not a ton going on there. Next up, Enoceratops. I used to not like Enoceratops, and I think if I made this video 2 or 3 years ago, this would go in D tier. But then I saw the artwork for the box, and that almost made me buy the figure. That turned me around on it so much. I'm not sure what it is. It just worked for me. Enoceratops, I think, is just going to rest at B tier. See, that's why I'm going to move Nezudo up. Because Eno is good, Nezudo is better, these guys are way better. Next up is a figure I do have, the Windy Ceratops. I like Windy a lot. Solid A tier. She's sweet. I immediately think of it in my head as a she, because it's like a big sweet cow that I want to go up and pet. It's got a very nice color scheme, some very autumnal colors, but I like the little splash of a mint green in there. And then I really like that nose crest on Windy Ceratops. That's just a cool looking shape that seems rather unique among the Ceratopsians. I can't think of many other that have a nose crest that isn't a horn, but is like a strange flat shape. Looks like a devil's tower. Centrosaurus, the adult one. It's also going to go in a solid A. Actually, I'm going to drop it to B, so it can be closer to its baba. I like it, but it does seem a little muddled, similar to the Medusaceratops, but not as bad. I also really like the big body Ceratopsians. The size is just an element that elevates it for me. Ooh, okay. Xenoceratops. Xenoceratops was the first ever Beast of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series figure revealed. And that was back when every single day I was updating the news tab on the Creative Beast Studios website, checking for what was coming. And I was always on the Instagram, checking them out. And this just rocked my world. I remember telling everyone about it because I was insane and I thought people cared. There's a 1/18th scale Ceratopsian that looks massive and perfect and gigantic, and it's so detailed. And I still haven't got it. I really should. I think it's got some very nice patterning and detail on it. I think the eyes get a little bit lost in the darkness of the face, which is definitely a hindrance, but the excitement behind this, as well as the big size, as well as the very detailed patterning, he gets an A tier. This one, before starting the video, I had to look up what it was, because I was not sure. This is the Utah Ceratops, and I really like its color scheme, so it's going to get an A tier. Red and tan with some black accents. You know, it's pretty similar to the Triceratops, just with a lot, you know, with red. The Triceratops basically has, well, he's got some brown on it, but he doesn't have any major red. Utah Ceratops, pretty classic looking. Not the biggest fan of kind of what's going on with the horns, but that's not his fault. That's nobody's fault. But my preference is still that I'm not the biggest fan of it. But it looks like a really quality toy, and it's going to get A tier. Pentaceratops, comfortable putting that in S tier. Looks so fantastic. That is a figure I really want to track down. Let me know if you would want a review of that. Why would I ask that? I know you guys want reviews of all of these. But this is a budgeting thing, right? I can't afford all of these. Pentaceratops, I've just got a big soft spot for it. It's got, you know, one of the most unique looking Ceratopsian skulls, and I kind of like how it's traditionally depicted, built more like a moose, like big and upright, taller shoulders, lower back. It's got a unique proportions to it, and it looks great. This figure of it does it justice, and I really, really want it. Next up, the big boy, the man in charge, the adult Triceratops. This figure means a lot to me. I have it. We all know that. It recently won first/second place in my ranking, my Beasts of the Mesozoic collection, and for really good reason. Like I said before, I really love this Triceratops, right? I've had it, I think it was the second Ceratopsian series figure I got. The first one was the Pachyrhinosaurus, and I love it so much, and I've had it for so long now. I'm going to say, what, has it been 5 years I've owned this? It's been 6, because I think I got this 2019. That's crazy. And when I got the big bad boy Triceratops for Christmas last year, it just felt perfect. It felt like the natural evolution of that figure. I've talked about this in the review. You can go watch that. But the big Triceratops feels like this toy that I love so much actually just grew up and became a bigger version of itself. The cohesion between them is really impressive. That it's not just a straight, you know, adaptation of this just being scaled up. It looks like it's grown and become a new toy. It's amazing. In fact, I think it's worth just adding a Triceratops tier. The challenge for Gary the Gremlin to get through any tier list without adding another tier. I just always have to do it. And adult Triceratops gets God tier. That's going to be a staple of these tier lists now. Every video I get one God tier and one figure is allowed to go into it. And of course, naturally, it is the adult Triceratops. Next up is our good old friend, Old Buck, who I'm going to put in A tier because that feels like the right spot. Almost put it in S tier, but I think, you know, just we're talking about these in terms of realism. That's what makes me really like these, is that's not a realistic color scheme. But the cel-shaded look is really cool. The fact that it's a reference to James Hornsby's animated series, really great. Love Dinosauria. Go watch it. I don't have to tell you that. You've already seen it. And Old Buck is probably the best out of all of those shorts. I think it's passed beyond dinosaur culture, and it's now just kind of YouTube culture. I think a lot of people not dinosaur fans have seen Old Buck because it's just a great animated short. It's wonderful that the team made this color scheme as one of the fans' choice ones, but it's going to stay A tier. I do really love that they sculpted a new horn for it. That's great. I seem to remember there being another variant on it. Wasn't there one with like no bloody scratches and a complete horn? But I don't see it on this list. This list is by Dylan, Dylan the Hammond Collection lover. Shout out. I like the female raptor profile pic. That's pretty fun. Next up is the Fan's Choice Walking with Dinosaurs Pachyrhinosaurus, which S tier. For a second, I thought about replacing the Triceratops in God tier, which would be really crazy doing it that fast after declaring it the best figure ever. I really like the look of this figure, and I kind of wish that this had just been the default look because, well, I'm just going to go ahead and cheat. It's my video. I do what I want. Grab Pachyrhinosaurus, the original one, and put it in A tier. Still a really great figure, but as I recently talked about in my ranking series, go watch it, the colors on him are a little bit flat. There's a little less lack of detail than something like your Triceratops or Styracosaurus. And the patterns on the Walking with Dinosaur one are just so much more complex and a bit more realistic that he's going to go in S tier and regular one is going to go in A tier. Though I have a strong love for the regular one. He's kind of like just, he feels like a big dumb puppy. I love that toy. I have an actual love for that toy. There's loving a toy and going like, I love this Godzilla. He's fun. And then there's loving it in a bizarre, probably unhealthy way where it feels like a pet. Anyways, we've got Fan's Choice Medusa Ceratops, which this video is Medusa Ceratops like slander, just hating on him, but he's gonna go in C tier. I really like the iridescent color scheme, and yeah, I know it's based on a snake. It just looks wrong on a Ceratopsian, especially kind of on the face with the white and black like stripes. I don't hate it, and maybe I would like that color scheme on something like a Zuniceratops, something smaller. But it just looks wrong trying to imagine like this is a 20-25 foot Ceratopsian, and it looks like a 3-foot little snake from a garden. Doesn't really work for me. Baby Diabloceratops, how could you hate him? A tier. Quality. This is, I think, the 1/18th scale Protoceratops, which looks, all regards, pretty great. I happen to like the green color scheme a lot more, so I think green color scheme will go S tier, and this one will go A tier. Those figures are kind of difficult to handle from what I've experienced with the Beast of the Mesozoic Dromaeosaurus, but we're really not ranking handleability here. We're just ranking design. So design-wise, S, A. We're going to go ahead and put the 1/18th scale and the 1/6 scale Psittacosaurus in S tier. Psittacosaurus is one of those few dinosaurs that we know exactly what the color scheme looked like, and it looked exactly like this. So I cannot fault this figure, and it looks amazing, and it looks great. If they re-release the 1/18th scale version, I will definitely have to get it. Glow-in-the-dark Zuniceratops. I think there's also a red version of this and a blue version. I could be forgetting. You know what? This list does not have the albino Zuniceratops. Albino Zuniceratops would go in D tier. So does the glow-in-the-dark one. I like the novelty of it. I guess it's fun, but it goes in D tier with the ones that I wouldn't buy. I think that's what D tier is. Like ones I can appreciate, and I would probably never buy them. Let's go ahead and change that. I'm not buying it. That's D tier. And those are two that, they might be fun. The novelty, I feel like, of that one would wear off very fast, and then I'd be like, why did I spend $30 on this? Zuniceratops is a B tier. I got that figure as a gift, and I do like it, but it follows that amphibian deal. It just doesn't really work, even though the painting on it is pretty good in some areas. Like the level of detail there they've achieved on it is great, but just not the biggest fan of it. Regaliceratops. Tomato looking ass. What are you doing here looking like a tomato? Friggin' weirdo. You stay in B tier. Ain't nobody want to talk to you about your tomato looking ass. Green Triceratops. I'm not buying it. The steel horn. I again, cool that we're doing Dino Riders, references. But wait, is it? Is the greenhorn a Dino Riders or is it He-Man? I know it's one of those. Whatever it's a reference to, it's an 80s toy line that had a just green Triceratops. So it's a completely green Triceratops with some steel horns that are silver. And I'm just not interested in that. He gets D tier, also known as I'm not buying it tier. Baby Centrosaurus Brown is S tier. I know earlier I said that I really like these for their intricate patterns, and I don't always like when they've got a dull color scheme, but this one has got just a pretty nice kind of bland color scheme that just works for me. The Sinoceratops. This is a figure I really want. It gets S tier, just firm S tier. This might be at the top of my list in terms of figures that I would really want. I think it's him, Styracosaurus, Pentaceratops, and the fan's choice, Pachyrhinosaurus. S tier pretty much stands as figures I want to buy. My wish list. Timestamp that. Comment, bless you. Sinoceratops, I love the intricate nature of its patterning. It looks really great. It's got more of that classic Triceratops black with cream, but then it throws in a couple more fun colors, and I really regret one time I was kind of stuck for cash. I didn't have much, but I did see it on Amazon on sale for $50. It's normally like $90. I really regret not buying it. I probably shouldn't have. It's probably a good thing I didn't, because I definitely couldn't afford it. Who are you? Who are you? Is that an Alberta Ceratops? Yeah, that is the Alberta Ceratops, isn't it? Yep. Looks quality, but isn't doing a ton for me. I think the big body and the relative, detailed nature of the color scheme is going to get it a B. Though there's not much happening here, I don't think. I don't know. I haven't seen that one in person, and this is just an itty-bitty photo of it. So I'm not sure. Blue Torosaurus, the original Torosaurus, is an I'm not buying it tier. I think that might be the most controversial one here, maybe.
What is wrong with you? Why are you blue?
It's not just that it's bright blue and a bit just extravagant looking, it's also that it doesn't seem that detailed. Like, there's not a good separate color for the underbelly. The majority of this figure is just blue. And then there's like a little, there's some black stripes and circles over it. And then you've got some bright colors on the head and some white striping. There's not a ton, as it seems to me. A much better Torosaurus deco is the Walking with Dinosaurs one. S tier. Come on. Walking with Dinosaurs, instant S tier. That's how it works here. We all know that. Getting near the end here, I think we've got Avaceratops. It's going to also go C tier. It's another one of those very amphibian-looking decos, just really bright and colorful, and not the kind of colors I think you would expect to see on a large animal, but on some sort of small frog or reptile or something like that. Cosmoceratops, I got no problems with him. A tier. Why not? We're having fun here. He is going crazy with all the horns on top of his head. Not really a pro or a con, just a thing. I mean, sometimes less is more. You don't have to go that crazy. And last, we've got the 1/6 scale Protoceratops, which might be the most just apathetic I've ever felt on a figure. I have no strong opinions either way on where to put it. I guess we're going to put it right next to its 1/18 scale version. Actually, it's going to go down a tier, because the 1/18 scale version works for me, because, it fits in scale with all my other buddies, but I don't really collect the 1/6 scale ones anymore, and I'm not planning on. So I do not care about him. God, that's kind of a bleak note to end the video on. I hope you guys watched this video. I hope you also liked it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stick around for more. We do videos like this every once in a while, but there's also the weekly, sometimes semi-weekly, full video reviews, and then lots of shorts. Make sure to let me have it down below in the comments. Let me know what you disagree with, what you really agree with. Am I completely wrong for putting Chasmosaurus and Torosaurus that low? I don't know. Let me know. Once again, thanks for watching. Gary the Gremlin, out.